Hey, I'm starting this video here in my own kitchen just to show you how you can make your own backpacking food right here from your own house. It doesn't have to be prepackaged. It doesn't have to be full of all kinds of additives and artificial stuff. You can make good, wholesome, nutritious food out there on a backpacking trail that you will absolutely love. Check it out. Okay, so there's a ton of stuff we could go over here, but I'm just going to talk about three things today. We're going to talk about dehydrating your own food, we're going to talk about no-cook alternatives, and we're also going to look at my favorite recipes that I make all by myself.
Yummy.
Alright, let's check it out. Yeah, so I'm making spaghetti tonight. Some kind of red sauce. Pasta. Will I dehydrate it? If there's leftovers. Now some things don't dehydrate as well as others. For instance, root vegetables, they take a lot to rehydrate, which means you might have to soak them a little bit more than what you would other things in your dehydrated package. Just keep that in mind. There's a lot of great websites out there that show you what is great for dehydrating and what there isn't, and I'll include a link down below. And of course, temperatures matter because vegetables should be dehydrated around 130, 135 degrees, whereas meats and fish probably about 160, 150, 160. And the reason for that is you want to retain as much of the nutrients as possible. Again, down below, there's some links. Penny for your thoughts? And this is my Excalibur food dehydrator. It's one of the more expensive ones, so you don't have to buy super expensive dehydrators for this. How about some chili? How about some lentil mushroom stew? Cauliflower curry? Spaghetti? How about some mushroom risotto? Love this. There's not a lot that I don't cook that I can't dehydrate and prepare a trail meal for. You know, if you got some leftovers and you have a dehydrator, that's your next meal on the trail. When I was on the Arizona trail a couple years ago, I hiked with this guy who did not cold soak, he did not cook, he just brought raw food. So no cooked meal alternatives. Here's a few ideas. Now one of my go-to favorites are tortillas, or maybe some naan or some other kind of flatbread like that is great, and you can put all kinds of things on there. For instance, I have a few things here. You can do some kind of cream cheese. You can do, solid cheese. You can slice it up. If you have like salami or pepperoni, you can put on there. How about some vegetables? You can slice up some vegetables. At least for the first few days you're on the trail. They'll still stay pretty fresh. Nut butters. All kinds of nut butters out there. Peanut butter. This is almond butter. What about pesto? And maybe some sun-dried tomatoes. Honey. What about tuna? You can put tuna in there. If you want to mix up some tuna with those little small packs of mayonnaise, that works really great. You could bring along some hot sauce. You could put some apples on it. Avocado's great. Of course, not all that at the same time. Of course, just find the mix of things that you really like to wrap up and just put those in a little wrap, and there's your meal. And of course, fruits and nuts are always a trail favorite, right? You can have some peanuts, you can have walnuts, you can have macadamia nuts, raw almonds, cashews, whatever you like. And you can mix that up with maybe some cherries, maybe some dates if you like dates. We have dried apricots here. I dehydrate my own apples or pears. It all works really great together. And if you want to get a little adventurous, you can even make your own power bars. I make mine. out of a lot of those ingredients that I just said. And there's a lot of great recipes online for making your own nut bars and power bars, and you know. I want to show you a few of my favorite recipes that I made on my own. How about some Asian slaw? Yummy. How about Hawaiian shrimp and rice? How about coconut mango sticky rice? Couscous curry. What about fish, veg, and rice made on my own dehydrated fish? Jamaican chicken, rice, and beans. Cheesy rice and veg. What about potato, beef, and veg? All this is super easy to make. I'll show you a few of the recipes. Alright, so let's look at the Hawaiian shrimp and rice. Okay, so for the rice, I use white rice. It's actually plant-based and there's more protein in this than normal rice. 10 grams of protein for 1/3 of a cup. So we're going to use a half a cup of rice. Just put in the bottom of my bag here. And there's a 1/4 cup of dry shrimp. Now you can get this dry shrimp at any Asian food store or any Asian department in your food store. So I'll dry it up. Then use a 1/4 cup of vegetables. These are just mixed vegetables. You can get these dried mixed vegetables just anywhere. And then you get 2 tablespoons of dried pineapple. I just put these all in separate little bags because the flavors won't mix if you keep them stored. It just comes together in the end. Then I have a teaspoon of dry coconut. Another thing I put in here is this vegetable bouillon. It just adds more flavor, little extra stuff. So tonight it's Hawaiian shrimp and rice. I started about a couple of miles down the trail with soaking my vegetables because sometimes these take a little bit longer to rehydrate. So I just put a little water in there and just let them soak for a while. So the next thing to do is I need to pour a cup of water into here and boil it up. So while my water is boiling, I'm going to take all the contents of this and my vegetables and put it all in one bag. My pineapple, my coconut, my bouillon, and my shrimp. We're all in here. Another thing I like to do is bring along some olive oil. I put it in almost every meal because about a tablespoon of this is about 100 calories, I think. Anyway, it's got some good caloric value. So just pour some of this in my bag that has everything in it. Now it's ready for the water. I always bring along a handkerchief because my pot gets a little hot. Just pour it right in here. You seal it up. Mix it up a little bit. Alright. Now if I have a koozie, this is a great time to do that. I'm going to put mine right back in here. Put my koozie around it. Make sure it's not too hot. There we go. Now, in about 5 or 10 minutes, we'll be all ready to go. Okay, now's the time. Hawaiian rice and shrimp with veg. I've actually let it soak for about 15 minutes. Yeah, this is nice. It's still warm, very warm. That koozie really helps out. Here's the big test. Actually, I'm gonna put it back in here. Fold it over. See there? Nice. Ooh. Smells good. I got the pineapple. Nice veggie broth. Yeah, it's a keeper. Okay, the second one I have is this Asian slaw. Let's break it apart. Man, that smells good. Okay, so the first thing you get is about 12 ounces of broccoli slaw mix. You can get that over in your produce department, is where I found mine. And then you take a small bunch of green onions, maybe about 3 of them or so is fine, and you chop them up real fine, and you put all that into your dehydrator and you just dry this up. And then you mix it all together. If you're going to be storing this a long time, I would put the onions in a separate little baggie just to keep the onions from getting into everything and everything tastes like onions. So the next thing you get is this top ramen, oriental flavored top ramen. And you take the ramen out and you smash it up just like that. Then you take the flavor pack that you get with that and you just dump it into your dried up slaw. You just dump it in there. Then you get some peanuts and you get some sunflower seeds, about a half a cup each, and you put it in a little sealed tight bag like this. You don't have to seal it airtight like I did. You can put it in separate little baggies, but you want to keep all this separate until it comes time to mix it up, and I'll show you why here in a minute. And then my favorite part is the dressing. This little dressing pack right here, made this myself, sealed it up. It contains a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Now if you don't like it that sweet, what you can do is you can take out, like make half the sugar, maybe like 1/8 of a cup of sugar, and then put soy sauce in there. That'll make it a little bit more savory than what it is sweet. But if you're a sweet tooth like me, this is gonna taste yummy. All right, so when you get, this is a no-cook meal, by the way. Okay, so about an hour ago, I put some water in my slaw, and look how it puffed up. It's all soaked, ready to go. So the next thing I do is I add in all of the other ingredients. Ramen noodles. Check. Peanuts and sunflower seeds. Check. I'm gonna mix all that up first. Okay, looking pretty mixed. Then the last thing we do is we put in the dressing. Oh, beautiful. Mix that together. I'm hungry tonight too, so I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Okay, taste test. My mouth is watering. It smells so good. It's crunchy. Just enough dressing. That's a winner. It's so fresh, you know. A lot of stuff we have out here tastes like it came out of a bag and you threw water in it. This is really fresh and really nice. Winner. Now to give credit to these recipes, this Hawaiian shrimp and rice comes from the backpacking chef. And this Asian slaw comes from the Camp Gal. So I have the links to those recipes down below, and those are where I got the recipes from. And I modified them a little bit, like I always do. Hi, I'm David on Earth. Thanks for tuning in to the channel. I do all kinds of backpacking and hiking kind of stuff, just because I love the outdoors. So if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe, like, tell your friends. But most of all, I like your comments because I have a ton of recipes that I use for myself out on the trail. If you're interested, let me know. Or if you have some of your own that you'd like to share with us, that'd be great. So, all right, I'll see you on the trail.